We work on empathy training to get to anti-bullying there. So that's how we're teaching some of the lessons too, as far as decreasing the bullying, but in a way that's in the form of empathy training. So we do those lessons from kindergarten, first, second, third, and fifth. Are all the second step lessons. For fourth grade, I'm using a different curriculum. It's called Steps to Respect, and it's specifically an anti-bullying curriculum. So we talk much more specifically about bullying, what to do with it, and how to recognize it, and then how to deal with it. The steps that we need to take. That's really the only time that we're talking specifically about the bullying. The others, like I say, we're trying to increase the respectful behavior by teaching empathy. So, and basically it's a fairly scripted lesson that the kids get each time. So we'll work from a card. There's also some posters that go along with it. We'll talk about situations and that. So it usually starts out the year by talking about skills for learning. So we talk about how to focus our attention, how to listen, and then also some self-talk skills so we can remind ourselves of things and ignore some distractions so that we can help with our focus and increase our learning. And then also being assertive when we're asking questions, trying to get help, or when we're talking with our friends. So that's what kind of the first part focuses on, and then we get specifically into the empathy training where we're trying to teach the children how it might feel to be in someone else's shoes, or get that understanding of how they might be feeling in specific situations. Because the research has shown that does decrease the disrespectful behavior in a setting. So for that, any questions on that, and how it looks? Or
sorry, you said that the empathy training is from kindergarten, and I missed it. Was it to third, or was it
K through 3, and then we also do the same with 5th grade. In
okay.
4th grade, I do the Steps to Respect, which is more of an anti-bullying curriculum.
Okay.
So we delve deep into bullying, what it is, what it looks like, feels like, how we deal with it, and then what everybody's role in dealing with those situations is.
Is the different program in 4th grade specifically just because of the 4th grade group, or is it just a particular age, or?
It's the age. They have it's a 4th and a 5th grade program actually. Because the other part of the research is when we talk about bullying, it's the old adage from field of dreams: if you build it, it will come, or they will come. But in this case, it. The more we talk about bullying, the more we see an increase of bullying reports and those kinds of things. And we're finding that kindergarten, first, second, those ages are really struggling with a concrete definition of what bullying is. So we get more tattling, but they're calling it bullying because we've talked about bullying. So anything that happens, someone cut in the line and they bullied me. So it becomes that when we call it bullying. So the more we talk here, because our motto is be respectful, one of the phrases in it. So we're talking more about respectful behavior as opposed to disrespectful behavior, which can fit under the bullying. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any other questions?
I had one question. Is there something that you could provide parents, maybe just a brief, just some maybe points of conversation that carry over from your conversations at school that the parents at home can also use?
Yep.
Just in terms, because I know like I get my kids come home and they're like, blah, 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 and I'm like,
Right.
well, I want to keep it on the same page. Like, what would that look like?
There's some home links that I could start sending home. I've hesitated to do that in the past just because of the number of copies that I'd be doing. I mean, for 450 kids a week.
Right.
Is there something you could just put on the website?
Yeah.
Put them on your webpage?
I possibly could. I don't know if there's a downloadable version of it or not, would be the issue, and then I might run into copyright.
So if it's possible, if you send it to the PTAC, we have a Facebook page, a group page that we can just post it if that's okay.
Yep.
And then parents can read it, or they can do what they want. That'd be awesome.
Right. And the other thing I didn't talk about, I told you there was a change this year. The change that's happened, because there is 22 to 25 lessons for each curriculum that I'm presenting, and when I was coming in every other week, I'm not getting through the entire curriculum. So, and the in part of the curriculum is kind of the culmination of figuring out, can you problem solve through some of these things and that. So what the change is this year is that I'm in 1 week with the classroom, the next week the teachers, the wonderful teachers, are presenting a lesson for me. So they're doing the next lesson in the sequence there. And Mr. Hill's doing a wonderful job with it. He wishes that he could use the puppets, but we don't use the puppets.
When you're not looking, he always gets the puppets out.
So they're getting a lesson every week. So I would encourage you too, on Jessica's point there, to find out which day your kid is having character ed, and you can talk to them about that, because they'll be having that lesson at the same time each week. So it'll either be a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday that they're getting that lesson in the classroom.
I wonder, I could probably throw something in the newsletter, like we did the, what were they, the attentoscopes?
Right.
And the kids, that was just to get them focused, and, you know, for weeks, they were going like this.
That's
And we
great.
said, okay, now just think it, you don't have to show it, you know? So things I could, you know, help if we can't figure out how to download it. I mean, we could kind of think about that too.
It's great.
The website, we could definitely share that. Second Steps has a website. There's not a tab like just for parents. So you have to kind of wade through a few of the curriculum model explanations. It's basically using their website to market more to the schools versus to the families. But you can watch a couple of the videos.
On specific lessons, I
Yeah.
think they can give
Yeah,
you some.
there's the early learning program. The second, it's just an overview, and then it goes clear up to 8th grade. So
Wow.
it could give you some ideas for maybe some of your older kids in the future. But we could send that out.
And I think is it cfchildren.org
Uh,
is the website there.
What is it?
So cfchildren.org. I think it's Committee for Children.
Committee for Children.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Very informative.
Questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.